Welcome to Princess Arcana, a new series where we'll be converting Disney princesses into Forgotten Realms friendly D&D 5e playable characters. I am your host, Wicked the Red, along with my player, Theoxwin. First, ground rules for this build and all others in this series. Number 1. Disney princesses are going to be contextualized into the Forgotten Realms, and that means their general abilities will change. They'll have class levels regardless of fighting abilities, and they may not be a one-to-one retelling of their original Disney version. Number 2. I'm only going to be referencing Disney films for this series. No other adaptations or the original fairy tale will be featured. If a character has a spin-off movie or series made by Disney, it may be considered for the purposes of converting the character, such as like Disney's Maleficent or the Disney Fairies series centered around Tinkerbell, but it has to be a Disney-created product. Number 3. Princess Arcana may not be comprehensive in the sense that not all Disney princesses may be created. It's also not limited to the Disney princess line, so characters like Tinkerbell or Alice may be included as well. Number 4. Builds featured in this series will be between 4th and 6th character level, as most of the adventure paths for 5e are between levels 1 and 10. Finally, I want to give a huge shout out to Sadynax and St. Precious, whose awesome Disney princess fan art inspired this series. Please show them some much deserved love. Links will be in the doobly-doo. With all that out of the way, let's hail Princess Aurora. With Aurora having no less than 4 fairies meddling in her life and a shortage of weapons wielding in hand, I'd say that Aurora's strongest lean class-wise would be a Pact of the Tome Archfey patron Warlock. While you could make an argument for either the 3 fairies or Maleficent to be her patron, I've chosen Maleficent on the grounds it's better fitting the traditionally adversarial relationship of a warlock and their patron, and it lines up better with the kind of spells warlocks have on their spell list. As for a Forgotten Realms equivalent to Maleficent, I'd really recommend the Queen of Air and Darkness as her patron. She's the evil sister of Titania and is the Archfey of illusions, darkness, and murder. She has pale, angular features, dark eyes, and is called a chilling beauty, and that makes her a dead ringer for Maleficent. For race, it's basically a toss-up between human and half-elf in my book. It's really preference. I've chosen half-elf because Aurora's got that otherworldly beauty, and I like the idea of having more skills, but if you really want that extra feat, don't be afraid to make her human. For Aurora's narrative, I have 2 interpretations you can go with. In both options A and B, Aurora inherited her pact from her parents after they made a deal with the Queen of Air and Darkness to grant prosperity to their house. When their noble house begins to prosper with the birth of their daughter, they begin to court with the good fairies instead. This angers her, and she places a curse upon their house in retaliation. In option A, the sleeping curse will befall Aurora's entire house if she cannot complete the oath laid out in their pact before her 16th birthday, likely a timeline of 1 year. In option B, the sleeping curse has already happened, and Aurora's entire house is just now awakening after having spent 100, 1,000, or more years in a deep slumber. In both versions, Aurora's goal is to break or complete the pact before misfortune can fall her family further. I would really recommend making her family a noble house from either Silvery Moon or Waterdeep. I'm going to use point buy for her stats, but this is really mostly preference as is all of this. I'd say a 16 in both Dex and Charisma, 12s for Con, Int, and Wisdom, and Strength as her dump stat with an 8. She's not going to need that much strength with how I'm planning on building her, so I think that that's the best way to go. For background, I'd say that the choices are really between Noble, Hermit, and Outlander, but seeing as Aurora is specifically hidden away from Maleficent in a cottage in the woods, I'd say to choose Outlander if you're leaning closer to the movie interpretation, and if you're going with my build, I'd say you could do Noble. So that means that Aurora's skills are going to be Athletics, Arcana, Nature, Perception, Persuasion, and Survival, as those are going to be her primary roles in my opinion when it comes to skills. For invocations, of which she'll have 2 as a 6th level warlock, I'd really recommend giving her Tome of Secrets along with Agonizing Blast just to take advantage of that charisma bonus she's going to have. While you would be completely within your right to take an ASI where you want it, I prefer feats myself. I usually take feats, and so I recommend Warcaster as a strong option for her. If you're playing her as a human with that extra feat, go for Tough as well. Next, let's look at her magic. So, I want Aurora to be a mixed melee and magical sort of character. I want her to use a quarterstaff in battle, and use magic for supporting her allies and herself while augmenting her quarterstaff for damage. So, I'd say that for her Warlock cantrips, take Green Flame Blade and Eldritch Blast with your choice of Mage Hand, Minor Illusion, or True Strike. True Strike I don't feel is super great. It's better if you're casting it on someone else, but it really fits that enchanted sword that shows up in the film, so I like it as a concept. Now, as an Archfey Warlock, Aurora will get Fairy Fire, Sleep, Calm Emotions, Phantasmal Force, Blink, and Plant Growth for free. So we don't need to worry about those, and they're all great spells, and most of them she can't take from Warlock. In first level spells, I'd recommend Armor of Agathis and Hex, but some standouts are Cause Fear, Protection from Good and Evil, and Hellish Rebuke. I'm mostly going to be pulling spells from the PHB, just to keep this build as open to everyone. If y'all decide that you want me to look at Xanathar's and the Elemental Evil Player's Guide, I can certainly do that and update these as need be. In second level, I'd recommend Crown of Madness and Misty Steps, but standouts are Hold Person, Mirror Image, Darkness, and Suggestion. All of these fit Aurora really well for what she would probably need to be doing, or fit Maleficent, aka the Queen of Air and Darkness, who's going to be giving her her power. In third level spells, I'd really recommend either Counterspell or Dispel Magic. I'd even maybe say both, as they're really useful spells, especially if you're going to be the battlefield controller support character when it comes to spells. I chose Counterspell ultimately along with Fly, but standouts include Remove Curse and Vampiric Touch as well. And now that we've taken Aurora from this to this, I'd say that we have a fully comprehensive Warlock transformation. Have fun playing Aurora in your D&D 5e games. Let me know how it goes. If you would like, don't be afraid to leave a comment letting me know what Disney princess you would like to see converted into D&D 5e next. I am Wicked the Red, signing out on Princess Arcana. And may all of your crits be many and your fumbles be few.